Hello and welcome back to Raise Rails. Today I have a fun how-to video. I learned this trick probably about 3-4 years ago from a gentleman at a train show. I never saw this demonstrated on a YouTube video or in one of the popular railroading magazines such as Old Gauge Model Railroading. But what we have here are these missile launching cars. Then we have the 6544, the standalone car, and we also have these the number 45 and 44 Marine car, an Army car. How this works is on the backs of the cars we have these missile launching systems that you put the rockets on, and before you put the rocket on you can pull these little tabs down, and you pull the tabs down and they're supposed to lock into place. And then there's different fire mechanisms. You could use the remote or you could use the little manuals. Like this car here has the little remote, and you can see when I pull the switch, these little tabs go up and they fire the rocket. But what happens is on these cars is there is a piece of sponge on the bottom of the cars. All three of them are the same. And what happens over time is that piece of sponge deteriorates. And you can see this car here, like I said, you're going to pull the tabs down and they lock. Here is a car here that the tab has deteriorated. So you can pull this tab down all you want and it's never going to lock. Without that tab locking, you can't set up the rocket for launch. So I'm going to show you what an easy fix this is. Probably takes under 5 minutes. And the only thing you need is a piece of sponge. You can use a piece of sponge, I don't know, a 3M sponge or a sponge that you have laying around, or something that you use from packing. Anything that can compress and hold the backs of these tabs up. So what you're going to do is you need to take the car, and on the bottom of it there is a tab that needs to be turned, and then you could release the mechanism here. So on the bottom here is going to be this tab right here. You just need to straighten it out a little bit, and there's another tab there's kind of like an L-shaped tab. So what's going to happen is you're going to lift this whole apparatus out of here. Once you get the tape, and you could actually see here some pieces of the sponge. They're just like charcoal, the way they are getting totally dried out. And you're going to remove all that from the car. You're going to clean it out a little bit, and then you're going to see here's the little tabs that need to go into the up position. And that's what locks the missile into place. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a new piece of sponge. I have this piece of sponge here. It's actually part of my cradle, but I'm just going to trim a little bit off the side. This used to be part of the cradle that used to, for my workbench. So I'm just going to take my razor blade here and cut a little piece of this off. And cut a little piece a little bit straighter, I guess. And then that piece here will be compressed right here. And then you see when I pull this block, it's going to lock it. See, without the foam, it won't lock into place. So you get the idea on that. So this one's locked into place. I'll show you again. I'm going to put the foam underneath there to lock it. Click it into place. Going to move the foam a little bit. So you got to make sure your piece of foam's long enough to compensate for all these. So now we're all locked up. So I'm going to get these. I don't actually know how you're going to fire these. Oh, there we are. There's a firing apparatus on the top here. This actually makes them fire. So your idea is you want to be able to compress these down so this top piece comes up. So I'm actually going to cut, this piece is a little bit short. See, I need it to take up that whole, this whole little area. So I'm going to cut a piece off the side like this. Looks like a little longer piece. I just eyeballed it. I'm just going to lay it right in there like this. So I'm going to take my piece of sponge and we're going to put this car back together. Yes, that goes there. That looks pretty good. Then we got the little L-shaped bracket here. Let me just test fit it one more time. I'm going to straighten out this tab here a little bit more. I'll test fit it without the sponge. See, we have that. All right, that's how it's going to go. All right, now I'm going to put the sponge in there. Sponge is back in. Just like so. I'm just going to test it before I lock it. All right, so that looks like a pretty good repair. I'm just going to go underneath here, lock the tab to the left or right. Give it a little twist. And that should hold it. All right, now we have it nice and tight. Test run it. A little bit too tight. Okay. Test it one more time. All right, so we'll put the rockets on there, see how it works. Sometimes they fire out of order, or they jump a little bit because it's just such a big recoil on it. So we're going to put the rockets on there like this. I'll just use this rocket here and this rocket here. So when you're pulling your train around and you find your target, this one actually is not an automatic one. It only has the little spin wheel here. So we're going to fire rocket number 1, rocket number 2. See how sometimes rocket number 4 likes to come off. Rocket number 3 and rocket number 4. So there you have it. How long did it take? Probably about 2 or 3 minutes. A little bit of fiddling and the car is fixed. So a lot of times if you see this car and it's broken, don't be afraid to make the guy an offer. I'm sure if you take your own time to fix it, you'll be happy with the results and you'll get a good deal on the car. All right, guys, well, I hope this helps you and you're not scared to attempt this in the future, and it makes your trains a lot more fun. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching Raise Rails. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.